Really?
Because
yeah.
I've heard a few times guys saying like, okay, boyfriend, not a husband, you know,
Right.
like
He didn't put a ring on it.
Also that would just manipulate you back and say like, I didn't say I want to date you. I was just wanting your number.
Got it, yeah.
So I don't want to deal with this. And I'm just saying, you know, I'm just saying what I feel without putting the third party into my conversation, if that makes sense, you know?
Well, it's very common in the US for women to respond when they're not interested to simply say I have a boyfriend.
Really?
Because most guys at that point will just kind of give up. So it's easier. I know because I've done, you know, thousands of these approaches. And when I first got into it, I had to, you know, embarrassing story. I was becoming a coach for a different company.
Yeah.
And I had to get a number on hidden camera from a girl that I approached during the day. And so I had this guy following me around, and we had like a hidden camera in like this box. And I approached 30 girls in a row. It was at a mall in San Diego. And I heard, I have a boyfriend 30 straight times. I think it was actually 34 straight times. And the odds of 34 straight girls having a boyfriend, it's like, you know, if you do the math, it's typically half the girls are in a relationship, right? Half are single, half are in a relationship. And if you do the math, the odds of that happening 34 times in a row, it's very low. So, and it's just very normal here for women to use that as a way to just get out of a conversation. Versus in Ukraine, I almost never heard that. I always heard like, no, thank you. I'm not interested. One time I was like, no, you are weird. Which I found incredibly refreshing.
Right.
I love that because I had already...
You're a freak. You like that.
I want to know the honest truth versus I was comfortable with rejection because I had done... You know, I'd just been rejected so many times. Yeah. So I was just like, just fucking tell me I'm ugly. You know, tell me I'm gross, whatever. Just don't tell me you have a boyfriend if you don't
tell
have a
me
boyfriend.
about your type or something like that. Yeah.
But I get it. I get why it's easier to just say I have a boyfriend because most guys kind of give up. But that's interesting. Maybe in Ukraine, because what I found with the men in Ukraine, it was a little bit harder to get them to like not pursue if they were interested in a girl. Like they were more persistent than most American men.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you say that's true in general?
Because they have a better focus. They don't try. Sometimes, you know, sometimes men approach just to see if they can. And maybe in Ukraine, since we have a more traditional values, they're not trying to approach just to see if they can approach. You know, they're trying to approach because they want to have you. Yeah. So maybe that's the thing. But also, I haven't been there for a while. Yeah. I feel like things can change slowly, you know. Sure. I think the hookup culture is getting to Eastern Europe too. Oh yeah. Step by step.
Well, as time goes on, right? Western culture kind of spreads
all over.
Because that's more of the, I don't know, pop culture, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So feminism moves, you know, towards and I even felt that in the 4 years I lived in Ukraine. I definitely felt more of a Western influence as time went by. And then how would you compare the amount you got approached in England and in Turkey compared with the US and Ukraine? Although you didn't tell us about how can you get approached here?
How often do I get approached here? On a daily basis. But I feel like it's not about how often you get approached. It's about the quality of approaches, right? Or quality of people who are approaching you. Because you might be approached by a person, you know...
Yeah, she's looking because there's a big homeless area right here.
I'm looking at the homeless area, and they're always telling me I look gorgeous, you know, and I appreciate that. But like, can I count this as approach? I don't know. I can be approached by
an actual approach where the guy is trying to get your number and take you on a date.
A daily basis, okay. If I'm outside, something will happen. Yeah. If I'm at the restaurant, if I'm somewhere in a gym.
I was actually like randomly meeting with the guy who lived in the building. Yeah. And we met in the dog park, started discussing stuff, and we ended up like having lunch together. And, you know, I told him what I did, and we saw, you know, we exchanged Instagrams, and we saw the mutual friend of you. And
me?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I think he didn't tell me how he got your Instagram, but then you later told me about a guy who approached you when you were here helping at my event.
I was just on the way to see you, yeah, and downstairs, a guy with a dog.
A little white dog, yeah.
Yeah, he approached me, and I was like, "Oh my God, is this already they training out here? Approaching in the street?" Yeah, so this happens a lot. But I know it sounds funny. Even in LA, depending on the neighborhood, let's say I'm always approached in a gym in a specific place, but if I go to a more chill gym, everybody leaves. Just I'm peaceful. Nobody's.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So if you're at the West Hollywood Equinox, for example,
right,
is that a place you're going to get approached?
App.
Right.
This is a nightclub. Okay.
Totally.
You just lifting weights 1 minute and another minute you're kissing in the mouth. You know, almost like that. If you want some peace, go to like Studio City, Equinox. You'll find some peace there. Yeah.
Yeah. And you recently moved from West Hollywood.
I recently moved, and I was like, "Oh my God, I guess nobody likes me anymore. Nobody's coming up to me." Yeah, the energy there is completely different. You know, I feel like West Hollywood is automatically a place of people who, you know, trying to get by and meet people and hang out as much. They're trying to expose themselves as much as they can.
For sure.
And that's why a lot more of approach happens there. So
yeah, when I was single and I lived in LA. You know, the first place I ever lived was Marina Del Rey.
Okay.
And now
you probably felt a little lonely there.
I was bored out of my mind. And then I lived in Santa Monica, and that was still a little bit boring. Then I moved to West Hollywood.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I'm staying in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because that's literally where all the girls are.
You're never alone. Yeah. You're just always out there. Yeah.
All the clubs, all the people walking around.
Exactly.
I mean, there's still people walking around, but it's not quite the same. It's where all the parties are, basically. So
yeah.
Okay, so it's. And then how would you compare that to when you lived in London?
Nightlife, every time I go out, restaurants, bars, every time I'm approached. In the streets, I don't remember much.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't feel...
Were you there during nice weather? It's never nice weather there.
It was never nice. Nobody, no, you know, you just walking like this.
At least when it wasn't too cold.
Yeah, probably. Every time I'm outside of, if I'm going to malls or stores or restaurants, then I am being approached a lot. On social media as well, more.
Okay. Do you take efforts, like I know now you're sort of in a relationship, or you are, like, do you take efforts to not be approached?
How do you take efforts to not be approached?
Have
like
a resting bitch face, maybe wear sunglasses, like look less approachable, basically.
It wasn't even crossing my mind. Should I? Would you want your wife to do this? I don't know.
I always love actually when she gets approached, because she gets to come back to me and tell me like,
the experience.
You know, because I'm always kind of like a scientist trying to figure out what everyone's doing, because it's my business, of course. But I'm weird. Most guys, you know, tell their women like, you know, dress in a burqa. So other guys don't, you know, try to hit on me.
Nobody put in any pressure or control on me. But I definitely, even when I was single, you know, I didn't want all this. I didn't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable in a gym, so I wouldn't overdress out there. Let's say. So yeah, but when I go out, I just, since I'm a child, I love makeup, I love fashion, I love all these things, you know. So I'm gonna look like this until the end of my day, okay? Right. As much as I can. I'm not doing any efforts to be less approached. Okay, yes, if that's what you want to hear.
And it seems like you like being approached, like you like the, I don't know, the feeling of it, maybe the validation, the, you know, makes you feel good, makes you feel
validation. The more. Again, you're getting older, you're getting smarter. You don't really seek validation that much. Right. You know, as I said, the more happy I am, the less I want to post on social media. It works the same way. Right. I don't need to make sure that I'm approachable enough, because I already learned that, okay, you know, men like me, I'm attractive, good for me. Yeah. But
you don't seem annoyed by it, which I think is,
unless it's weird.
Unless the guys,
I don't seem annoyed by it. Yeah.
And I think that's really important for guys to hear, because here you are getting approached on the daily. Yeah. And most guys are going to assume, oh my God, a girl like her, she's getting approached all the time, must be so annoying. She's constantly having to, like, you know, shoo guys away. Yeah. And then they think, I don't want to be that guy. Yeah. And so they don't do it. But here we're hearing, from you saying like, no, you should do it.
The question is, do you want to be the guy who gets rejected all the time? When well,
this kind of leads into my next thought, which is, so I believe if you want to date a woman, for, I don't know, to a woman who's really beautiful, right? Call her an 8+, right? You're probably not going to be successful on the dating apps because you're not on the dating apps, right? You're probably not going to be successful on a street sort of day game approach.
Yeah.
Because like, why would you date that guy when you could date someone through your social circle? Because I'm sure you're invited to interesting events with cool people of high status almost every day.
I'm also mindful of my own social circle now. Mm-hmm. So when I think about places I'm going or neighborhoods I'm living, I'm thinking about, probably the men of my dreams are not doing this.
Right.
He's not jumping right now with the bottle service. And I had to realize that because I've been a girl, having a lot of fun. And then I'm like, wait, I don't feel like the father of my kids right here spending $10,000 on little bottles with the fireworks.
Sparklers.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So it's everybody needs to put themselves in the social circle they feel like they belong to. Even if you don't belong there yet, try to. Does it make sense?
Totally. Yeah. And obviously you get more savvy, as you get more experience. So, I mean, I think because when clients come to me and they're trying to get more dates, right? Yeah. I tell them, well, day game is a great way to build your confidence and you can potentially get dates from approaching women during the day. But if you want to find, your perfect 10 or your dream girl and you have like these high standards, right? As a strategy that will consistently allow you to date girls like you, I think day game just doesn't quite cut it because you're going to think that, why is this guy approaching in the first place? Yeah. Right. Now, I still tell my clients to do it for the confidence reasons, and effectively they need to build reps, and they need to. I see day approaching as kind of like it's the deadlifts of exercise. Yeah. Right. It's what builds your confidence, builds your muscle. You get confident with rejection. You stop giving a shit.
For me, going on a bunch of dinners before in dates, I've learned how to speak, how to listen, how to act, right, and understand what I like and what I don't like, to learn how to notice red flags, to recognize narcissistic personality disorders, and be a therapist for every man. Anyway, so it works the same way, I guess.
Yeah, you need to get experience. Yeah. And at the end of the day, as a way to consistently get high quality dates, it's basically social circle or bust. Yeah. Right. So yeah, that's confirming. Yeah. I guess that.
But I would just mention there's difference between going on a dates and getting to know people and trying to sleep with everybody you see. It's just a big difference between this. So I would just say people should not be caught in this mess, of just seeking validation through many, many, many people. So it should be experience, but it shouldn't be like validation seeking. Right?
Yeah.
Hey, so real quick, I've decided that 2024 is the year that I really try to up my social media game, and more specifically my Instagram, and I think you should too. I'll be sharing thoughts, lessons, and ideas there almost every day, and I love to interact with you and help you grow. So if you're active on Instagram already, and you should be, because Instagram is really the only online dating platform and a way that most of your communication with beautiful women is going to funnel, then shoot me a follow link via the show notes. I'm at Robbie_Kramer. Let me know what you're working on and if there's any way I can help. All right, back to the show.
Yeah, I mean, my journey with validation seeking was, I was kind of like the kid who got rejected in middle school. Yeah. I asked one girl out. I had a big crush on her. And she said no, and I was like a little bit chubby. Yeah. So she didn't even say no for the reasons I thought she said no.
Just remember the picture of you being chubby, sorry. Okay.
So I assumed that she didn't like me because I was chubby.
Okay.
But the real reason was because I didn't have the courage to ask her out. I asked her friend out for me. Yeah. But the friend actually liked me. So I think she said no because she knew the friend liked me.
Oh my God. So that's a lot of drama.
So much drama, right? In 7th grade. So my conclusion from that experience was don't ask girls out, don't be direct, because they can, make you feel like shit.
Yeah.
So I didn't show any interest or ask any girls out for the next like 4 years until the end of high school, where I was like, okay, all these people are like, having sex and going